uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom. The simplest and easiest way for you to get better at PUBG Mobile is to improve your game sense, your game awareness, your rotations, and the decision making that you go through in your day-to-day PUBG Mobile gaming. Anticipating the enemy's movements, making good connected pushes with your teammates. These are things that will win you more games. I see too many people just lying down in the cheer part, spraying clip after clip of M416 and a 6X. It's not, honestly, the way that you win. I'll give you some examples in this video that are just going to hopefully help you. There is a bot over there. It is firing. Someone knocks the bot. That is the Plane Lead and Conqueror's squad. I'm just going to grenade the box of the bot. No one's there. No one was ever there. But I'm betting that human nature is going to get someone in a bad position. And then I grenade inside, so they're in that corner. I grenade another one just on the entrance. And my next grenade is at the back in case someone leaves instead of doing the revive. We force them back off the corner. And we know they have to be in here on the side. And the rest is gravy. We win this gunfight because they've got no hit points, because they're recovering and we've taken an edge and then just shoved that edge down their throats until we walk away winners. And then we just pre-fire because they've got no choices. This is what I talk about when I say you've got to improve the way that you play the game, not your gunfighting skills. The way you rotate with a purpose. This is something McDingaling and I do all the time. We're outside the circle. We dropped right off the plane path into George Pole, and instead of just rotating all the way around to wherever the circle is, we know that there's no vehicles at crates, so we come here and spend a minute just waiting to see, and lo and behold, out pop the people who drop crates. Simple stuff like that is so low risk. Like, you're not going to get knocked and killed here. You are going to clear a squad that's heavily looted up and that was comfortable hot dropping. Instead of just charging forward and doing things, wait and think about it. And one of the reasons that I feel like I'm good at this style of gameplay, despite the fact that people carry on about it and, why, just push and we just push and whatever. I love the cerebral side of it. There's someone on the top of that roof. I play solo squads all the time, right? I move back to get a better position. I move up the mountain to get that headshot. Now I know that he's fighting someone on the left over there near the road, at least one person, possibly more. He's banging away, so I get some hard cover, and then I just wait for a flicker of movement. Now you're looking for movement. Movement when you're shooting through trees is what will absolutely draw the eye. And when you see a tiny little bit of movement, that's when you can figure out exactly where they are. Now, the obvious problem here is that I have just cleared that target, so people are going to be looking for me next. And there's another hit through the tree. This is a really good example of how you should be pushing in when you are faced with 2 or 3 people holding you outside the circle. And I made a mistake there by even targeting that guy. I could have gone around the engagement, but be that as it may, this is a great way of proving the point. I can't take, I think there's 2, possibly 3 people there. What I'm going to do is get a knock. Now, this guy's not peeking me in a way that I can really easily get a knock because there's a lot of people over there and I'm solo. My helmet's nearly dead. If I take one more helmet hit, it's going to clear my helmet and then I'm in big strife. So what I'm going to do is throw out a smoke trail to my right so that I can actually exit. They're going to start hitting the smoke trail. They're going to start spamming it. They're all going to shoot at that smoke trail. And then I'm going to get my knock from them shooting the smoke trail. I never went in it, get the knock, then we leave. We push across. I think we ended up winning this game as well. And it was that play there that I thought was most emblematic of why that was the win. I want to talk about 2 examples now of early rotations. A lot of people fall in love with holding a great spot. We're in the only compound left on the entire map. And both hitter and dingers are like, we'll just sit here. This is a great spot. This is, the best part of the map. But I make us move really early, and I make us move to a set of rocks just to our north. You can see everyone flowing down that back end. There's still 9 other people left. So everyone else on the map is that side of that ridge. If we get caught, outside the circle, having to cross towards the rocks or the warehouse or the other side of the road from where we are now, we're going to get absolutely rinsed. The answer to this is an answer that I think people need to be more ready to take. Rotate early out of a space that could be the absolute best part on the map to a space that is safe, whatever the next circle brings. And you can see me looking at that mini-map, and the thing that I really don't want to have happen is for the circle to shift to this pile of rocks and us have to rotate into this pile of rocks while they've already shifted up and we've lost our compound. So by taking this, even though there's no one there, we absolutely 100% confirm that we're not going to miss the next circle because we're basically in the center of that circle, and we can then push across the road when the circle changes before they get the opportunity to shoot us. That's an early rotation that might seem a bit difficult for most people to understand, leaving a compound that's still in the circle, but I'll show you a much clearer example of this. This is a game with Jess and I playing duo squads. This compound we're in here is inside the circle. There are people in the compound directly to our north where that water tower is, and then there's also a compound on our left that is still inside the circle. And this is a 100% a game-winning move. We don't win this game if we don't do what I'm about to do. Rather than moving to the next set of houses that are not contested, just in front of that water tower, I make the decision to run off a knock that Jess is going to get. I think he's running AMR. There we are. And we're going to rotate hard and fast to these houses in the very, very north edge of the circle. And the reason for this is twofold. One, if the circle goes there and we have to rotate there second, we're dead. Rotating into these houses is going to kill you. Two, if the circle goes back to where we were by some wild stroke of imagination, it's an easy rotation to get back to. Of course, it goes to the houses. And all the other squads are happy to lie down and crawl in the grass. I won't do that. I find it incredibly boring and a really negative way to play the game. Obviously, they are also running up behind those great spray by me. Incredible spray by me. Some of the most accurate spraying you're going to see this side of, I don't know, people that can't throw it in the ocean. And these are simple rotations, made early and made often. And it's like you're setting up for the most likely outcome. It's like you're saving money for a rainy day. And when you get it right, it feels really good. It feels like you won the game, not because you outgunned them. You won the game because you outthought them. You got there first. This is a much more difficult situation, and this is one of the things I just want to touch on before I finish, because I don't want to go on too long about this stuff. If you like these videos, by the way, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. I'm Mark. I want to get to those rocks in front of me. They're under the gun line. When you're fighting people who are on the top of a hill like that, you've got to remember that it's very difficult for them to see down to you because there's a lot of grass up the top, okay? How about that guy moving just as I fire? I see that they're in a gunfight. I get low and I try to just suppress the top of that hill. The whole time, I'm not worried about fighting that guy on the left. I just have to get to hard cover. And then once we get to hard cover, we can move along, because the rotation after this one is going to be a disaster, right? It's going to be an absolute disaster. But we're real close now to the point where everyone is within 120 odd meters of each other. So the grass is going to render the entire time. I don't want to push across the top here. I just want to make sure no one pushes up my flank. You can hear them there. They're just running around on the top edge of that hill. So we start our smokes. We've only got that one smoke there. We throw it high. We don't throw it where we're going to go. We throw it all the way up there, because that smoke obscures more up there than it does down the hill. I'll be running through it for 10 meters down the hill. But when I throw it up the top, I can actually push up into it, and it obscures the whole bottom of the hill. And they have to move all the way over to that other side of the hill to actually get shots on me. And of course, if they're not willing to move down, they're not going to have clear fields of view, and we're going to be able to hold. I worked hard to get that rotation done. I never once really cared about the gunfighting. It was all about suppressing. And now we're in some of the only hard cover on the top of a hill. They have to rotate down into us, and we've got some more smoke. So I smoke the left, obviously, because I don't want them to get shots up at me if there is anyone down below me. And it turns out there is. And these guys who had all the vehicles and all the chances in the world to get an easy rotation in early held where they thought the circle would be the easiest. And that's a big mistake. It's an easy mistake to make, and it's a mistake we all make, and we make it all the time, particularly when you're solo squad. Like, if you're in a position where you're not in trouble, you're like, I don't need to rotate. But remember, if you get there second and you're solo squatting, you're probably going to die. Like, getting there first is everything. And then you've obviously got to clear the last bloke, but that was easy peasy lemon squeezy. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed those tips. Look after yourself. Stay safe on the battlefield. Remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment below on the kind of content you'd like to see more of. And until next time, bye for now.